Welcome to another Founder Wisdom podcast with Rick D. Smith. He's a founder, serial entrepreneur, and co-founder at News USA. Rick's pretty accomplished, 35 years as the CEO and founder of News USA. That's a lot of time. He's invested into more than 100 emerging companies. He's basically a few of his company has gone to 50 million plus in revenue. So that's quite the accomplishment right there. Rick, that is in Washington, D.C. I am in Oaxaca, Mexico. And today we're going to talk about PR agencies, syndication, video marketing, content marketing. This pod is brought to you by podpar.com. That's my podcasting agency. If you want to start your own podcast, go to podpar.com. We can help you do it the unconventional and scalable way. Rick, welcome to the pod. Tell me a bit more about yourself and about what you're up to nowadays.
Hey, yeah, good to be on the podcast, and what you're doing. Years ago, I started News Canada, then I started News USA. And we've evolved to now where we're getting into the digital side and we're doing other things. And nowadays, things are much more automated. We just have some new announcements that we're going to share that just literally happened in the last few days. So it's all good.
Nowadays, News USA, where do you want to take the company?
Well, our business has been that of basically, it was born out of frustration that I had with media, in that I've written my own books and I looked to promote and sell my own books, and press releases weren't getting the journalists to sit down and write an article on me. Advertising really wasn't working. The answer I had for many ad spends I was doing was to spend more money. If it didn't work, I didn't understand how spending more money would necessarily make it work better. You know, I like to put gas on something that actually is working. And so then I came across something that changed my life, was putting out syndicated book reviews on my books. And I sold over $1 million worth of my books in Canada. And then I went, expanded into the US and into other markets. But my broker was so impressed with the money I was making that they wanted us to syndicate stories for them. And out of this whole thing about syndicating pre-done stories that the clients get to approve the copy, and yet it was meeting the need of the newspapers and now the news sites with content of well-written articles that are put together by top journalists in a format that they could drop in or be put into their site, allowed for a lot of exposure at very limited cost. And that's how I built News Canada, and then I built News USA to do just that. And so now, in the US alone, I've been doing this for, a fair bit of time, and we've served over 30,000 national clients. And these are, look, our main focus has been national nonprofits, meaning trade association, professional and trade associations and charities, and also consumer brands. And what they all want to do is have that promotion across the whole country that they can show. Sometimes they may not have the kind of big budgets that ad agencies in New York need. So they need another way to be able to show that they're doing something to support their chapters, their members, their local things. And that's kind of where we come in. But it's also been helpful for startup companies and emerging companies, because sometimes they have limited funds, but they need to make a splash of credibility so they can show their investors and stakeholders and others that they're actually starting to take off and get them to jump behind them.
So if we go back in time, you started your career in Canada. What prompted you to do business and establish yourself in the US?
Um, we got bought out in Canada by a $300 million public company. And I had started the company with $84 and a young journalism student. And the journalism student saw the offer, and he wanted to be in the Bahamas, retired, and I wanted to continue, but we sold, and then I jumped on a plane to the States and started the same thing in a much bigger market. And it's been fun.
What's the difference between the Canadian and the US market?
Well, the Canadian market has about 1,000 newspapers, and the US market has over 10,000 newspapers. And when we started, we were typesetting the articles. So it was like literally a much bigger print run with the opportunity of 10 times the upside. So there were real cost efficiencies. And we were up against people who were spending a ton of money of postage money to mail out press releases that weren't getting used. So all I had to do is show them the money that was going out of their organization with postage and envelopes and mailing, and they weren't getting any placements because they were putting out annual reports or stuff like that. And I went to a local daily newspaper and I basically bought the rights to the boxes of press releases that would come in that were not getting opened. I mean, the managing editor wasn't even opening these envelopes, and I'm seeing all the postage on it. And we would open the envelopes and we would call these organizations and say, hey, if you're hitting this paper and this paper and this paper in these very parts of the country, you must be spending money nationwide to do this. So can you reallocate the money to us, and we'll have top journalists take that press release, turn it into a finished story, typeset it, and deliver it out, and guarantee to deliver placements back to you for less than it was costing you in postage. And it was simple because we were basically pooling the syndicated stories or press or mat releases, as they're called, into something that the newspapers could literally drop in. And over time, we've evolved to now where, I guess 10 years ago or so, the newspapers were switching to online. So they came to us and they at the newspaper conferences and said, can we use your articles on our websites? And so we started providing an RSS feed of our articles, and they can continue to pull articles from our website and running their physical newspaper, but they're also running online. And now we have just over 2,800 news sites that pull our feed and put it up, these stories up on their news sites. And then we grab the image and pull them back into a nice Excel report that can be downloaded, and all the big PR people can say, oh, look what I got done for my client or for my boss. And the cool thing is, what's just changed, Charles, is now we do placements same day, and the full report in 48 hours. And when people want to start a media campaign and they want to do something, a lot of times what they've traditionally been faced is, well, we need some sort of ongoing retainer to start putting together some thinking and that. And that's great. Strategy, if you know what you want, then it's a little different. You need execution. And the execution sometimes may take 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and you still don't see anything. Well, that panics a lot of people. With us, you're going to see stuff same day. That's kind of the approach we've taken. We have a happy renewal level of clients that keep coming back. We haven't really reached out that much, but I'm about to reach out a bit more.
So reach out to whom? Who would be your ideal customer persona?
Great question. our most ideal customer persona is the executive director or VP of communications or marketing at some 501c3 national nonprofit, because they really need to show their members and their local chapters and their stakeholders that they're getting coverage, favorable coverage, that they can control the message, control the timing, and they can control what they put out, across the country, and be able to say, if you're in Texas, if their members or chapters are in Texas or in Illinois we cover all 50 states. So you're going to get placements across all 50 states that you can show your members. And that's really important to that group. The other group is national consumer brands, because they need to show their sales and distribution channels that they're getting the coverage. It really helps if you've got a distributor, even a third-party distributor of your products, if they can take in physical proof of placement of articles from that geography when they go into retailers, to show them and use that as leverage to get end of aisle or special placement of the product, to say, look, it's being written up in all in that geography, in that state. And if your state's Arkansas, that doesn't hurt to have a bunch of placements in Arkansas so they can get shelf space.
Right. And when you say outreach, you mean like cold email to these folks? Is that the next program you'll be on to?
We're revamping a few things to message what we do a little bit better and do outreach. Though we've been written up in the PR trades and called the best kept secret in the PR world, and we've been relatively low profile. Our clients sometimes like to remain stealth. In terms of their relationship with us, or they come through a PR agency, and we respect our clients, and we don't do end runs on our agency clients. We protect them. So that's kind of how we've been operating. So, it's worked out. Half our business are PR agencies placing on behalf of their national brands or their national trade and professional associations. And the other half are ones that we've come across direct, or people have moved and promoted, because all of a sudden they get all this coverage. They will get promoted either internally, or they get hired away at a competitor, and away they go.
So what are your top objectives for this year?
I want to build up the volume of stories that we can place, because we've added a lot more news sites to our network, and see how that will fit in with the News USA digital operation. That is, we've now streamed, we tested we see that combined, we can do a lot with the technology and the platforms on the digital side. We also are just launching a platform on our core business called NewsFlow that will allow, it's basically a self-serve, self-publishing platform that'll allow clients to go in, upload their articles or their materials. Our editors will work it over, and then they can literally publish, and then the reports are all there online that they can access 24/7 themselves. And it's going to get pretty interesting the way things start to scale here.
Yeah, tell us a bit more about that, because on the website right now, it's averaging a bunch of traffic. You syndicated a bunch of websites together, but there's also competition out there. There's, big news outlet that can offer ad placement. How will you distinguish yourself from these other brands?
Look, the thing that News USA does that no one else does is we have top trained, Associated Press trained, sorry, top AP trained journalists that write the stories to the client's approval. And we have 2,500 plus feature story placements, day one, guaranteed in writing. And we currently average 2,800 plus. That is a huge amount of distribution, and grabbing the images into an Excel report to prove every one of those placements. And then talking to our clients on how to cross merchandise that by putting on their website as seen in, or taking it to where they do blow-ups of the placements at their events to show that they're getting the coverage, and leveraging it, or do an email campaign that they're doing to show they're getting coverage. I find, we help Rembrandt tooth whiteners go from pre-revenue to 100 million in sales by syndicating stories every single month for them for 14 years. We did a similar thing with a monthly syndicated feature story that we placed nationwide for Cold-Eze, the zinc lozenge, uh, um, uh, the zinc lozenge to treat the common cold for Quigley Corp. We helped them go, that we were pre-revenue when we started syndicating stories for them every month, and we went 15 years with them from 0 to 50 million in sales. And they went to $24 a share on the NASDAQ. And that worked out pretty well for everybody. And both companies continue to sell their products to this day. Rembrand got bought out by Gillette when they hit 100 million, and then Gillette was bought out by Procter and Gamble. So it gets interesting.
What is the ultimate goal? What do you want to create with that empire of yours?
We are experimenting on the edge of content and e-commerce. And so I can see where we're going to, at some point, be able to take in articles, add things from our affiliate ad division, affiliate link division, like affiliate links, and syndicate that out to hundreds of thousands of news sites and generate revenue back through the same channels that we've already built, news flow and all these other things, without impacting our public relations clients. It's just utilizing that other channel and then giving the opportunity to get into some of the higher end publications like CNN or Wall Street Journal, or some of these may not per se run our editorial through our feed, but if the feed had ads or affiliate links in them, they might do it on a rev share, and it might open the door to even more distribution for us that our PR clients may be excited to be part of, because they give their client more exposure. So we're working on some things on that front. We're also working on video. We are now, we created News USA TV, and it's now, you can go to your mobile device, and you can, with an iPhone or an Android, and you can go to the App Store for free and download News USA TV. And it's streaming on 250 platforms already, meaning Roku and Fire and Samsung and Apple and Viewed. And we're setting it up so that it's going to go really crazy. And that is, we'll then bring in we have our own full programmatic division that we'll be able to plug in programmatic ads. So right now, if you go to News USA TV and you download it for free, you can watch the movies there for free, and you're not going to get any ads. So that's really cool. And we have on that a business channel, a health channel, a travel channel, a kids channel already. So you can watch, and we're doing live reporting. So we've got our own reporters that are doing live reporting there. And we also are doing live reporting on some of our sites that we have, that we've been developing. So these are just some of the pieces that are coming together. Where it all is headed, I don't know. We keep a little flexibility because, Google just changed their rules and we got out ahead of that. And that's going to affect a lot of people. So I want to keep ahead of the curve here. Have a good team.
There you go. Well, thank you for today, Rick. Where can people find out more about you?
Oh, please, come to newsusa.com. That's our website. On the homepage, you have my direct phone number. You've got, you can schedule a call with us. We can do a free mock-up of syndicated stories so you can see what it looks like before you roll with it. And anybody is welcome to touch base with us. We would actually enjoy that. Thank you.